What is up, budget billers? My name is Trell, and we have a little bit of good news today regarding some potential $8,000 stimulus checks that are going to be returning back to some individuals as stimulus checks, right? We also have information of a new guaranteed basic income program that's offering $500 monthly checks. And I also have a weird story about some people receiving $1,400 stimulus payments. This one is a little bit weird, guys, but I'm sure some of you out there are going to laugh at this story. And lastly, guys, hey, we have some new information out from the CDC, and it appears that the American people didn't really need a vaccination shot after all. I will explain it in a moment. But first, if you're interested in any of these topics today and you want to be a part of this channel, be so kind and go ahead and subscribe to it. It's totally free. And if you end up liking today's video, then go ahead and hit that like button for us. It really helps out this channel. Now, let's go ahead and jump right back into this video. Okay guys, real quick, I wanted to ask you for your support on my new YouTube channel that will be launching sometime this month. Now, it's called Budget Bill Finance, and I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers, guys. Can you help a brother out? I'm going to be talking about on this channel about how to grow your wealth, how to invest in stocks, as well as how to invest in real estate, as well as showing you guys exactly what I'm doing outside of YouTube. So if you want to be a part of that channel, be so kind and go ahead and subscribe to it. I hope to see you guys there. Now, that link will be down below in the description. Well, if you are a Democrat, then this is definitely some good news for you. And that is because House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is seeking re-election as the Democrats continue to face a tough 2022 midterm elections coming soon. The House Speaker announced on Tuesday that she will seek re-election, ending speculation that she would retire as the Democrats face the threat of losing control of Congress in the 2022 midterms. Now, while we have made progress, much more needs to be done to improve people's lives, the 81-year-old Nancy Pelosi said in an online video. Now, she also said that this election is very crucial and nothing less is at stake than our democracy right now. So, guys, she has officially announced that she is running for re-election for 2022. And you know what? She'll probably get it, guys, because the Democrats really love Nancy Pelosi. They believe that she has been able to get the job done on multiple occasions throughout her career in Congress. Moving on, guys. Hey, there is a new study that has just come out by the CDC, and it is titled "Natural Immunity Was More Effective Than Vaccines Alone Against the Delta Variant." Wow, guys, I don't think Dr. Anthony Fauci is going to be excited about this new CDC study out, but they are saying that natural immunity to COVID was more effective against the Delta variant than vaccines alone, according to a recent CDC study. Now, the study looked at COVID-19 cases and hospitalizations in California as well as New York between May and November of 2021, determining that the numbers were highest among unvaccinated people who hadn't been previously diagnosed with the virus. Now, prior to the Delta becoming the predominant variant back in June, cases were highly among people who had COVID before than those who were vaccinated alone. And during the week of May 30th, compared with case rates of unvaccinated people without a previous diagnosis, the study said case rates were 19.9 times lower for vaccinated people without a previous diagnosis in California. But according to this study, hey, new things flipped when the Delta came around. By October, people who had natural immunity had lower case rates than those who were vaccinated alone. And by week of October the 3rd, compared with the case rates of unvaccinated people without a previous diagnosis, the CDC study says that the rates were 6.2 times lower for vaccinated people without a previous diagnosis. So again, guys, hey, this is the new study that is coming out that is saying that people with natural immunity are actually more effective than those who've actually had the vaccination shot. Now, the CDC is still recommending that the COVID-19 vaccines and additional booster shots are the best protection against the coronavirus. But I beg to differ because of this new CDC study, because those individuals who have already been diagnosed with COVID and have had symptoms in the past, I believe that they have natural immunity that is going to fight against the virus much more than a vaccination shot. But in other news, guys, hey, I wanted to remind you guys that the free N95 masks are starting to arrive. I told you guys in a previous video that the government has ordered 500,000 N95 masks to be delivered for free to individuals in America. And they have just been arriving at different places like pharmacy stores as well as grocery stores around the country. Now, pharmacies and health centers around the country have begun distributing the first of the 400 million N95 masks that the White House is sending out to combat the fast-spreading Omicron variant of the coronavirus. And President Joe Biden announced this initiative sometime last week, sending out masks from the Strategic National Stockpile as health experts stress the importance of high-quality face coverings to protect against the Omicron variant. And he said that we know that these masks provide better protection than cloth masks. The Department of Health and Human Services said that the masks would be available at thousands of pharmacies and community health centers nationwide. Now, the agency also described the effort as the largest deployment by the Strategic National Stockpile to date thus far. And it's also the largest deployment of personal protective equipment in U.S. history. So again, guys, hey, these N95 masks are starting to arrive with flyers encouraging people to mask up as well as to maximize your protection against the Omicron variant. Now, in order to get one of these, I'm sure you can just Google wherever you live to see exactly what pharmacy or supermarket or grocery store has these N95 masks in stock so that you can go to those locations and pick up at least 4 masks for you and your household. And again, guys, hey, these N95 masks are free courtesy of the United States of America and President Joe Biden. But of course, as the Omicron variant continues to spread all over this country, as well as the inflation rates are hitting all-time highs over the last 39 and a half years, hey, what do we expect, guys? Things and prices are starting to go up. And right here, we hear from Procter & Gamble, and they are telling Americans that you need to get ready for even more price hikes as inflation continues to rise. In this article, it says to get ready for even higher grocery bill. Procter & Gamble says that it's going to be hiking prices even further on consumer favorites like Tide laundry detergent. And that comes on top of price increases it already had implemented, as the company that makes Oral-B, Bounty, and NyQuil says it's facing its own rising costs, with inflation nationally stuck at 40-year highs. But the price increases are slated to take effect at the end of February. But that won't be all, guys, because Procter & Gamble said on Wednesday that another price increase will come sometime in April for its personal health products. Yes, guys, we are not looking forward to this, but consumers so far haven't resisted the price increases. And Procter & Gamble says that they're still stocking up the household goods, even as they take a greater and greater share of the family budget. And on earnings call this past Wednesday, Procter & Gamble said that it would spend $2.8 billion more on commodity, freight, and foreign exchange costs in its fiscal year. So again, guys, hey, we already know that inflation is rising all around this country, as well as prices of goods and services are also continuing to go up as well. So I would encourage you that if you have a particular product that you will use for the rest of your life, why not go ahead and go right now to your nearest supermarket and purchase multiple of those particular items, because you never know exactly when that particular product is going to rise in its price. We've already heard from Procter & Gamble right here, but I'm sure other companies will also follow suit. So this is a great time, if you have the money, to go ahead and start stocking up on these particular products going forward. And that way you can save a little bit of money as this inflation increases around the world. Now, let's go ahead and talk about the $8,000 stimulus checks. Yes, what is this in reference to? Well, it is in regards to those with children as well as dependents, because you can claim on your 2021 tax refund up to $8,000. And this is going to cover things like child care. But let's go ahead and go over this article, guys. Hey, the Child Independent Care Credit, and that's what it's called, the Child Independent Care Credit, is a tax break designated designated to let parents claim expenses from childcare. For example, if you paid for a daycare provider while you were working, that expense can be claimed as a credit when you file your taxes this year. Now, how is a childcare credit different from the 2021 taxes? Well, in previous years, the maximum amount you could claim was around $3,000 for one child, or $6,000 for up to two children. For 2021 expenses, you can claim up to $8,000 for one child or dependent, and up to $16,000 for multiple children. Now, the one-time expansion of the child care credit for 2021 also increases the maximum return rate for child care expenses from 35% to 50%. Now, what does this mean, guys? Hey, in brief, for the 2021 tax year, you could get up to $4,000 back for one child and $8,000 back for a second or more children. And in prior years, the maximum return for the credit was around $1,050 for one child or $2,100 for up to two or more children. That's a 381% increase just for this one time for 2021 tax season. Now, before the American Rescue Plan, the Child and Dependent Care Credit was non-refundable, meaning that it would reduce your tax bill to zero, but you would not receive a refund on anything extra. But now the credit is fully refundable, meaning that you will receive the money for it even if you don't owe any taxes. So that is some good news, guys. But exactly what does qualify and what does not qualify? Well, we have this little chart right here that's pretty handy, and it says these are the particular things that would actually qualify that you can claim on your tax refund check. Now, daycare expenses, guys. If you have children, you obviously pay a lot of money for daycare expenses, and as well as before and after school care programs, as well as any day camps and transportation to and from care providers. So if you pay someone to do that every day, yes, you can claim that, as well as also babysitters, nannies, and housekeepers. Now, what are the things that do not qualify? Well, your spouse doesn't qualify. Yes, the dependent's parents, you and I, yes, we are both parents of our children, so we cannot claim ourselves, as well as one of your other child. If he keeps your other children, you cannot claim that as well. And also any babysitters that were paid under the table. Yes, guys, if you paid them under the table and they are not claiming that money on their tax return, you cannot claim it on this particular instance. So again, guys, hey, I'm going to link this article down below just so you guys can read the entire article out. But if you do have children, hey, you could receive up to $16,000 if you have two or more children. This is the only time that you can claim all of these things. And we all know that during the pandemic, we had to do certain things in order to just survive, in order to keep our jobs. So again, guys, I hope this information was helpful to you today. Okay, guys, here is that crazy story that I talked to you earlier in this video. Yes, this is talking about in 2021, hey, $1,400 stimulus payments can now be claimed by dead people in 2022. I mean, where do you find dead people so that they can claim these $1,400 stimulus payments, guys? Come on now, we've got to do better. Yes, as a result of the American Rescue Plan that was signed into law by President Biden back in March of 2021, and it delivered $1,400 stimulus checks back then. You guys remember it went to most Americans, but that money was intended to help people get through COVID-19 pandemic, and it was the third payment of its kind, which we know the other two stimulus payments came under former President Donald Trump. But anyways, guys, hey, these $1,400 stimulus checks were going out to nearly every person that qualified for the particular stimulus payments. And if someone didn't receive that money last year in 2021, hey, that doesn't matter, guys, because you can actually claim that money sometime this year in 2022. And that obviously includes dead people. Yes, guys, check this out. Hey, the IRS published information for taxpayers earlier this month. Now, one of the things that the agency noted is that families of people who died in 2021 and did not receive the full economic impact payment, or the EIP payment, last year can still get that money. Of course, that person has to have qualified to get the payment in the first place and had not received it already. So what they are talking about here, guys, is that if you were alive not you, but someone you know in your family was alive in 2021, but they have recently died and they did not receive their economic impact payment last year in 2021 or any time prior to that, a family member can be eligible to actually claim that $1,400 stimulus payment this year on your tax return. So let's say, for example, hey, you and your spouse were living in 2021. However, your spouse ended up passing away late in 2021, but neither one of you actually received your stimulus payments last year. But look, you need to claim your tax return this year in 2022 for the previous year. Yes, the 2021 tax refund check. Yes, you need to claim that, and you can actually claim that for you and your spouse. Even though your spouse passed away, you can claim that on your tax return, and you can receive those $1,400 stimulus payments for you and your spouse this year. So yes, that is what this article is actually talking about, guys. Dead people can actually receive their $1,400 stimulus payments if they did not receive it in the previous years, but your spouse will obviously have to claim that stimulus payment. But anyways, guys, hey, I just thought this was a hilarious article that I read when I first saw the title, but now I understand exactly what they are referring to. And last but not least, guys, hey, we know the pandemic has affected everyone in this country as well as around the world. And that is why most states and some cities have actually been offering different types of guaranteed basic income plans or universal basic income plans. And here we are. We have another one. Minneapolis Guaranteed Basic Income Program is starting to take shape. Yes, Minneapolis has received more than 8,000 eligible applications for 200 spots in its Guaranteed Basic Income pilot program. Now, the big picture is that Minneapolis is joining cities across the country, including St. Paul, in experimenting with the unconditional cash stipends for low-income families. Now, families selected for this particular program will receive $500 from the city every single month for up to 2 years. That means $500 for 24 months, guys. That is a lot of money. Yes, the city and Federal Reserve Bank of Minneapolis will monitor those families, along with a control group of applicants who were not selected for the program. Now, because of the pilot program is funded with $3 million in American Rescue Plan Act money, participants must have adversely impacted by COVID-19. But the city had to reject 6,000 applications that were duplicates or failed to meet the program criteria for this pilot program. So again, guys, hey, I don't know if you live in Minneapolis, but this particular Guaranteed Basic Income program has already started, and a lot of people, 8,000 people, have actually applied for this program. But unfortunately, they only have 200 spots available. But again, guys, hey, this is a lot of money to be receiving because it is $500 monthly stimulus payments every single month for 24 months. Now, again, guys, hey, I hope this information was helpful to you today. Well, anyways, guys, hey, that's all I have for you today. Now, if you enjoyed this type of content and you want to see more, hey, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. It's totally free. And if you like this video, then go ahead and hit that like button for us. It really helps out this channel, as well as it tells YouTube to share this video with others. But anyways, guys, hey, I appreciate you guys stopping by and watching, and I hope to see you on the next video. Peace.